So today we're going to go over specifically the borrower portal in our system. So every borrower in your record lives in your mortgages tab. And there's a lot of different ways you can get those records in. Certainly you can hit plus and add a new record. If someone calls you and you do a search of the system, they're not in your system, and you can add that new record into your system. You can import a list of records as a CSV file. We can integrate with 5 different LOS systems so they can come in through the system that way. We also integrate with almost every lead provider where leads can get dropped into the system. However, the lead gets into, or the record gets into your mortgage database, and whenever that happens, our system immediately creates a unique portal for them that's password protected. Think secure private website. And with those same credentials, they can access an app. That app is called Mortgage Circles. And that's really what we're going over today. That it's a communication tool, it's an application, it's a way to securely collect documents, it's a way to request a pre-approval, it's a way to send you referrals, it's a way to track their loan when it's in processing. And you can kind of pick and choose what you want on that portal, whether it's all of it, some of it, and it's very easy to automate the communication out to those records at any point in the process when you want that record to know that they have this website. So I'm just going to dig into a record here, Jim Anderson, to show you. So in this grayed out area here is where contact information lives for a record. Every borrower looks the same, contact information, and then you have a tracker over here. Underneath here, you have the ability to click to visit their personal portal, and you also have a pre-made email that explains to your borrower what this portal does. And you can edit this email and you can automate this email. And again, this can go out to anyone. It could go out to them immediately when they're entered into the system or at any other point, just like you can automate communication as they move through the pipeline. So this explains to them exactly what I just said, that, hey, here's your personal portal. This is what you can do with it. Here's your unique ID. You can see in this email, it says, I will provide you with password separately for security reasons. But if you want, you can choose to send the password along with their email and their ID in one shot. So it sends them the link, but it also explains to them with the same credentials, they can go to iTunes or Google Play and download Mortgage Circles so they can have full access to it, either from their phone using the web link or from their phone on an app, depending on their preference. Another way, a popular way people get in the system is that every user, you can see in my demo account, I'm logged in as Ryan Lockhart. So if I go into my admin within my system and I go to 1003, every user gets a 1003 link, an application link that they could put on a website or send it to someone if they're not in your system. So as mentioned, if they're already in your system, our system has created a unique password for them already. But if they're not in your system, so someone's on your website, they see an apply now button, that it could automatically open this link, which would be branded to you and your company. Backsplash is all customizable. They could fill out this basic information, works like a web form, hit start application. They then would drop into your system as a new record, and then the system would generate a password, and then they would immediately get emailed that password and they could log in and complete an application. So I'm going to jump in and show you what this portal can look like. This would be the initial login, and if you wanted to, although not recommended, you could remove the password and just have an ID and email to log in. And so this is what the web portal looks like. The app version of this, I'd be happy to send a video of it to you guys after if you guys want to request, but it looks very similar. Layout is very similar. So this would all be customized to you. So instead of the fictitious BNTouch mortgage company, this would be your company laid out here to the left. This would be all of your contact information here. And then this would be the borrower's information here. We do have a little video that some people like to put in that invite email as well. That's like a 6 to 7 minute walkthrough video, basically detailing exactly what I'm walking you through here from the borrower side of things, so they know how to navigate this portal. So not only can an email go out detailing exactly what the portal can do, but the video can go with it. So we keep you organized, or the portal is organized with different tabs here across the top. When you're in your dashboard, it gives you a snapshot of everything. So when they first log in, if they came in through the application link, this would be obviously at 0%. Documents would be at 0%. Application would be at 0%. But what you can do in our system is you can, as they, let's say, now have completed an application and they're in processing, you can build out all of your in processing statuses within our system. And we can also integrate, as mentioned, with 5 LOS systems so that if you update a status in the LOS, it would automatically update the status here, so you wouldn't have to do it twice. If you weren't integrated with the LOS, you could update it by just checking today's date, hitting update. And so that can send automated communication, email, text out to the record, letting them know, like in this case, the loan's been approved, but it can also update here on their portal. So front end on this, obviously when they first log in, if they're using this on the loan app side, this would be at 0% and they can go directly into the loan app. And so we have 2 kind of forms, and this is updated application, either questionnaire style or you can have form style. Questionnaire style just takes them through question by question, and depending on the answer, we'll ask them the appropriate question. It will save their progress so they don't have to finish this application on their own. You have access to this just like I showed you. I had access to this by just clicking into their portal, by clicking to visit. So you could help them or walk them through this on your end. Within the back end of BNTouch, if I go into more and I go into options, I can go down to the 1003 form here and I could edit the questions. So I could make this a shorter form application if I wanted. So, if I wanted to remove demographic information and maybe military service, all I have to do is gray that out, and then that's not going to show up on the application. I also could go into a specific section and gray out, let's say, this portion by just graying out, then those 2 questions wouldn't show. Or I could gray out a specific question by just clicking the eyeball. It also allows me to check this box to make sure that question is required before they move on to the next question. And I also can add a comment that would hover over the box to give them more information based on the question that was asked. So this is all customizable on your end. And then if you wanted to change it back, you could turn all those sections back on. So once that application is completed, it would drop into your BNTouch, which then you could download that 3.4 or 3.2 file and get it over to the LOS. With Encompass and LendingPad, you can push it over with a button. So back over here, so that's the application part of the portal. You can also use this portal to securely have your clients upload documents to you. So that could be automated. So when they complete the application, a request could go out. In your document section, you could request like a one-off document by just hitting the request document within the document section and set up a due date. Oftentimes it's the same list depending on the loan. So you could have preset lists. So all of those presets would be saved in here. And again, I'm in the documents tab within the specific record. So in this example, then you can set up automated emails and texts to the record. So in this example, my borrower Jim is getting an email every day that I need these 3 documents. And in that email, you can also create text, would be a link back to the portal where he would see in his documents tab a list of those documents where then he could upload those documents to you or take a picture of those documents, and then you would get notified and they would get uploaded here in the document storage section. It is an additional cost. It's $20 a user. You could create documents for them to e-sign, and it's integrated with our portal as well. So when they log into their document section, they could see documents that they need to get to you. They can see the documents that you've received from them, and you could also see any e-sign documents as well. And that works like it's a proprietary e-sign, but it works very much like DocuSign. You can lay out where you need a signature, where you need initials, where you need information filled out, and you would get notified when that was completed. If I just take a step back in terms of talking about the application and documents, we have this dashboard tab where you can customize. So when you log into the system, the goal with the dashboard is to see, your daily calendar, all of the tasks you have for today, any tasks that you missed and birthdays, and all of this is customizable and drag and drop to organize. You can put different reports on your dashboard, but you also can see in your loan app section any apps that aren't completed. So you would have a list of people here that had started the application, and you could dig into the record to make a phone call to see if they need any help completing the application. You also can go to your documents section and see any documents that were still outstanding. Difference between uploaded, which would be notified, and requested documents. And so if it was past their due date, you could dig into a record to make a phone call to see if they need any help getting you those documents. So we talked about loan app, we've talked about documents, we've got loan contacts. So within my system here, within this record, if I go back into that Jim Anderson file, I've got 2 referral partners that live in my partnership database attached to this record. I've got Bill, who's a buying agent, and I've got Tim, who's a general referrer. But we've got unlimited amount of titles for all of your referral partners, and you can add anyone to this to be looped in on the communication. And in another demo, we'll show you that we also have a partner portal where, similar to the borrower portal that's tracking their loan, the partner can track all of the loans they're attached to. But in the loan contacts within the borrower portal, you can see that Bill and Tim's information is here. So if the borrower needs to see any contact information of a realtor, they can see that very quickly. Bouncing back up to the dashboard, and was just asked a question here in the chat, can these milestones be pushed from the LOS? Absolutely. So we integrate with Encompass, Calyx Point, LendingPad, Byte Pro, and LQB. And in that integration, you can choose what statuses or milestones map. When I say map, if you update it in the LOS, within 15 minutes, that's mapped in BNTouch automatically. So certainly you can manually update a status by just checking today's date and hitting update. But the goal is, if you're already doing that, or a processor is doing that for you in your LOS, one of those 5 LOS systems, you would not have to do it twice. And then you can over communicate to your borrower. So if they've been conditionally approved, that's updated in, let's say, LendingPad. A text can go out to them, an email can go out to them, and a push notification go out to them, on their app, and they can see that milestone's been updated, so they can track along. Obviously, when their application complete, this can show 100%. When their documents are all uploaded, this can show 100%. If they have any questions of you, they can send you a message. So, I could say, have a question. So let's say they were moving along the app or had a question about, which documents they can get. They could ask you a specific question here, and that would say you. So I'm logged in as Jim, and Ryan Lockhart is the fictitious name in BNTouch. So if I just hit refresh here, you'll see that question back from Jim, and you could actually send a message back to them. So you could actually have a full conversation using their portal and your CRM. This is also accessible on the BNTouch app. It's just like the Mortgage Circle's portal is accessible on their app. So basically, our CRM is web-based. You can access it on your computer, but you can also access it on the BNTouch app. So you could get a push notification if they ask a question, and then they could get a push communication back. So you can have a whole conversation if they have any questions. We also have the ability for them on this portal to request a pre-approval. They can put in their income, mortgage term, interest rate, fees, average credit score. They can put in some advanced information here, property tax, down payments, home insurance, HOA dues, and they can then submit this. If they were to do that, you would get alert, and then in your pre-approvals within your record, you would see that pre-approval here, which then you could send a pre-approval letter. And so you can create templates that basically takes the information that they've added. I'll just show you here. If I hit send pre-approval letter, you can have this data pull automatically into your templated email and your PDF that's going to go with this pre-approval letter. So in this example, I've got loan amount, max price, down payment. If there's any other data you want to add here, you can. You then can hit send request, and it'll then populate that email along with the PDF pre-approval letter. And this is all customizable, and it'll pull that data like a mail merge into that email. So if they do it multiple times, they can do it as much as they like. It would just update a new pre-approval letter or pre-approval request within the record, time-stamped. So you can see, like in this pre-approval, I have one here from earlier today. If I did another one, it would be just on the top of the list. We also have a refinance analysis tool that you can share out to their portal. And you notice, and I did this purposely to show you how you customize your portal, I don't have the ability to see the refinance analysis on this portal, because if I go, and I'll talk more about that refinance analysis quickly, but if I just go into options and I come down here to borrower and partner portals, and again, this is under the options tab, kind of where you control all of your CRM functionality. I'm going to go into the borrower portal. I've turned different sections on, but if you wanted to turn the loan status off, you just need to uncheck it. You know, if you wanted to turn the document section off, you can. You know, so some people have a POS that they're using to collect an application and collect documents, and they don't want to use our system for that. So they could turn that part off, but they do want to use the portal for loan status. So you could turn all of those different sections off. So if you notice, I've got the refinance analysis unchecked. So it's not showing up on my portal. If I checked it, it would. So the refinance analysis is a tool that we created for you guys to allow, you know, anyone that you funded in the past, you would have all of their current loan information within the system. You then can run up to 3 different scenarios with a new rate or new loan side by side, and it'll run a calculation. And when you run that calculation, it'll save it here. It allows you to email that to them, but you also can show it to their portal if that's turned on. Some people like to use our portal for all communication once they get to a certain point, because you can communicate with them directly. You can update their milestones and do the application documents. The other piece to this is they could actually refer a friend to you. So if they had someone that you wanted to talk, the nice thing about this is, you know, they can put any information right here on the app, you know, whether it's just first name, last name, cell phone, email, add any note, and then that record would drop directly into your database with the source being your borrower, and then it would be in your database to start marketing to. So a question on the milestones coming from the LOS system. Yes, so you can absolutely customize all milestones to be updated if it's one of those 5 LOS systems that I mentioned. I got the question, can we use the borrower portal without the application? Absolutely. As I showed you, you can customize within options and turn the application off so they wouldn't see, you know, so you can use it, kind of pick and choose. If you just wanted to use it for certain pieces, you absolutely can. If they take a picture of the document, does it convert it to a PDF? Not automatically, but when you go to download, you can. Do you have to approve the document before porting it over to the LOS? So yes, you would have it, you know, you would see the document once uploaded to make sure it's a clear copy, and then it's a download, upload into your LOS. Question about the borrower immediately begin the application without waiting on a password email to arrive. No, they wait for that. The password will come immediately as soon as they fill out that initial landing page. I got one other question. Is there a fee for the app to borrowers? There is not. So all of this portal/app, the Mortgage Circles app, all comes with the system. As mentioned, every record automatically gets a username created and a password created. Within the record, you'll always know what their username is in the mortgage info invite email. You'll always know where their ID is in that email. You'll always know where their password is, and that lives in the contact information, which is automatically generated. Individual portal password. So in my account, it's BNTouch, but this is automatically created, and then you can edit it if you'd like. So you can always change what the password is.
Thank you for watching this training video. To learn more about the BNTouch CRM, please check out our YouTube channel.